In 1959, at Street's Grocery in Whitefish, Montana's special spice was born. Alpine Touch. It's the taste you grew up with, well seasoned through the test of time. As the tradition carries from one Montana generation to the next. From its humble beginnings to a trusted brand, here's to the next 60 years. Alpine Touch. Montana's special spice since 1959.
Saturday, getting through that, I think that stretch of games that I think a lot of people thought we were supposed to win, and doing that, and now getting ready for a big game against a team that obviously has had its way the last several years in the league, and get an opportunity to play on a big stage. It was a great opportunity for our guys, and quick week, so we were back at it yesterday, and I think the guys have responded real well, and we're halfway home, it seems like, already as far as our preparation goes. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Yeah, with the snow today and then preparing for this game, was the energy pretty all over the place, or pretty good, I guess, at practice?
No, it was good, yeah. We didn't have to modify a whole lot this morning. We changed it up just a little bit. Thanks to the facilities crew for helping us out this morning. But by the time we got going, and ultimately we had a stretch of weather that wasn't so bad this morning to get the work in that we needed to. We'll follow up this afternoon with a little bit more than usual in the afternoon, and we'll deal with it tomorrow. And we got time doesn't stop for us. They're not moving that game back at all on Friday, so we got to get our work in. And I thought we've done that both yesterday and today, given the situation.
And with the short week, I guess specifically, what are the toughest parts of the preparation for a game Friday?
I think it depends on some factors. So we were fortunate we played at home on Saturday, afternoon game. I think type of game we were able to not wear anybody out. I think all those factors were important. I think a lot of times it's harder on the coaches to turn around and shift gears as fast as we had to. We were in much earlier on a Sunday than usual. We typically don't bring our guys in to work on Sunday, so they responded well yesterday. Essentially got in yesterday what we would have done this morning, but I think our guys knew the plan going in, and got the work done we needed to yesterday, and then came back this morning as well. So I think it's just, fortunately for me, I've been part of a lot of these Friday night games the last 7 years. I know we had one each year. We had a lot of short weeks last week, so having been part of it, kind of knowing how it works and laying out a plan was the key, and the guys, coaches, players alike, have taken to it and ran with it.
Does an ESPN Kickoff change anything?
Well, same thing there. Mountain West is part of a lot of those, so it does. It makes your game day more of a waiting game for sure. Makes you trip home later, certainly, but you still can play the game at whenever they tell you to. So we'll do that. We'll modify a few things on Friday. Still go out on Thursday like we typically would on a Friday. So you explain yourself a lot of that from a day ahead perspective, but the 8 o'clock kick. And unfortunately, we've played under the lights once already this year, so that's not a drastic deal. And I think the benefit of us to get an opportunity to play on ESPN U far outweighs the adjustment we got to make playing on Friday at 8 o'clock.
You mentioned that you guys have been a favorite for the last 5 weeks, and now you're going to go into a game against a more like opponent, a tough opponent. Is there a different sense of urgency within the building?
Well, I hope that we've had the correct sense of urgency every week, but I think human nature would probably say that there is. But I do think our guys handled their preparation each one of these last 5 weeks relative to the 5 opponents like we want them to. Very business-like. We've preached not caring who we play, when, where, all that stuff, and I think our guys have taken that mindset and repeated it week after week, and I think generally that's shown in our performance. So now, the dynamics are changed. We're playing on a different day, a different place. Certainly an opponent that has the accolades that are well deserved. Not only the ranking, where they've been this year, but just what they've been able to do for the last several years. Obviously they have our full attention.
Do you have any crossover with Coach Hill, and can you kind of speak to what he's done at Weber in the last half decade?
Would have had crossover in 20. We were supposed to open with them at Wyoming, and So that was a lot of April, May back in quarantine was getting ready to have a game plan ready for them and watching them play in 19 and make it to the semifinals. I had a lot of respect for what they did in 19. And you certainly do your history check and you learn more about what a coach has done and how they've gotten to that point. We had played Weber at NDSU back, I think it was like 04, 05, way before Coach Hill, and knew of the program then. But what he's done more recently is got them on a national stage. Consistency, I think, how he's went about it is not only about succeeding at the Big Sky level, but the national level. Understanding that you gotta play defense, you gotta be able to run the football, you gotta be physical. Those are all trademarks that we want to be part of our program, and they're certainly theirs at Weber. There's no question about it, and they're going to be in position to be in every game they play. Again, that's something that we want to say about our program. So, and having a chance to be around Coach Hill just a little bit, I have a great deal of respect for who he is as a person as well. So yeah, it's a program that has certainly is the mark in our league right now. I would say that, and we got to go in well prepared, and our guys have to be ready to go on Friday.
What stands out most scheme-wise from them?
Well, they challenge you offensively. They run the gamut as far as their run schemes. They execute well. They are physical. They've had to play more quarterbacks, I'm sure, than they've wanted to this year, but they've all kind of found their way with with each one of them being able to highlight their strengths. It's a good running game and a passing game that's certainly more than capable. I think defensively, they get after you. They're able to play a lot of man coverage. So with that, up front they can wreak havoc, and they have really good players on both sides of the football. And then special teams wise, that's not just about one player. Although Shadidi got a tremendous threat there, but they obviously take special teams very seriously, and that's certainly been an edge for them over the years.
Are you going to try to kick away from him? Is there any plan with trying to?
Well, I don't know. I think one thing we've done pretty well is cover. I think our guys will be up to the challenge. So to say we'll just hand it out there and he can do whatever he wants. No, but we're not going to be afraid of him, I guess. At the same time, I think our guys, both on our kick coverage and our punt coverage, have done a really good job this year by and large, and this will be our biggest test. Not only again making it about one player, but the other 10 guys on their units do a heck of a job too. So, we'll have a plan, and I plan to contain them and go tackle them, and that's not an easy task by any means.
With 11 picks this season, when you look back on film, what stands out to you about your defense's ability to kind of capitalize on those opportunities?
Well, we've made most of them. I can't think of a lot of them that we haven't come up with the ball. There's been a few. I know that. So, our guys are, they're able to make plays on the ball. We play with good, we play with zone eyes quite a bit. We're not, we play enough man, but I would suspect most of our interceptions have come in from the zone variety, where if it's thrown your way, you're seeing it, and you're having a chance to make a play, and you're where you're supposed to be. And I think a good number of them have been where we've had the quarterback under duress as well. So those balls aren't being thrown maybe where the quarterbacks wanted to, and we've been able to, capitalize. So it's about our pressure we're putting on. It's about our guys being fundamentally sound on the other end, and for the most part, cashing in on those opportunities.
Is there anything you think Coach Banks does to kind of set those guys up in the right spot?
Well, he doesn't have the best throwing arm, but I know they do a lot of ball drills for sure. No, I think it's about it's about the fundamentals all the way down to those ball drills. We spend time at that. I think our guys understand. That ball's in the air. Those opportunities, both him and Coach Reisinger preach it. We got to make those plays, and I think in practice, we're taking the ball away quite a bit. That's making sure every time Sean Austin drops back, whether he would be sacked or not, he's getting a chance to throw the football. It's maybe something as simple as that. I cheer, let them throw, let them throw, let them throw. So there's a lot of sack interceptions going on that side of the football when it comes to the scout team. But no, I think it's just a constant reminder of what we're trying to do back there. And I think both Coach Banks and Coach Reiser do an excellent job of reminding our guys about that.
How tough is it to prepare not only for a team coming off a bye, but likely a quarterback who hasn't played in a few weeks?
Well, the extra week for them, certainly is an advantage. I think you got a couple extra days to prepare. That always plays in your favor. I think the quarterback change, the anticipated change, I think we feel pretty strongly about what we know is maybe going to happen. But I know they've even with that being said, they've played multiple guys in games without injuries leading to that. So no different than last week. We got to be prepared for a couple different styles. And whether it's clearer this week than last, I think it's similar. So at least we've been through that kind of transition. And then we got to be ready and prepared for whoever they throw at us. And we have good banked film on all their quarterbacks. I think it's not a complete guessing game if one's in the game, what it's going to look like. So we'll do the best we can to catch up as far as the days that we have relative to theirs, and we'll be prepared for whoever they put out their quarterback.
Would you characterize this front seven defensively for Weber State the most talented that you've faced, at least in the FCS ranks this year?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's fair. And where they would compare with Wyoming, I think that there could be a comparison made. I think you can argue that. But very active. They have the ability to play a lot of guys. I think, like we've tried to get to in our front, the more guys you can play and not have that drop off, the fresher guys are, and I think that shows up on film for them. They allow their guys to play a pretty simple game and know what they're going to do and do it really fast. So a lot of ways how they play their front seven, it's comparable to how we do and how we're trying to. So yeah, it's going to be formidable, and we're going to know where they're at. I think that's different than maybe a couple of the opponents that we played. But the task now is to get on them, stay on them, and win those battles over and over again.
Anybody you're going to be getting back for this game, and anybody you're going to be missing, you expect?
Yeah, first time we've had Nate Stewart out on the field all year, so I think that's moving in the right direction. I think our RJ Fitzgerald it will be ready to go. Ryan Davis has not played the last couple of weeks. I think Ryan would be approaching being game ready. So you get those three guys back, all experienced guys that haven't played a lot for us at this point. Ryan's played the most. It'll be good to get them back on offense. Defensively, it would be the same group that we had. I think we were able to play Tyrell probably more than we anticipated last Saturday, so I'd say he's full go. I think he played 30 plays, so I think to say that he's back is accurate. But otherwise, we're pretty much status quo.
Those three guys you said will be active for the game?
Yeah, they were out there for really the first time in a full padded practice today, but I think that's the way that would be trending.
And James, can you speak to what happened with James as far as injury, and Davis, I guess, too, for that matter?
Davis was an upper body injury that he's dealt with, and in James, lower body that he'll be back from, and he's making his way back. We're hopeful that a couple weeks down the road that he'll be back.
With Tyrell back, do you expect to have kind of this rotation there at that defensive backfield? Or?
I think so, yeah. Similar to when James, Eric, and Simeon were rotating pretty equally. I think that's ultimately what it kind of got to on Saturday without that being the plan. So, yeah, I think we, really plugging in Tyrell from where James was.
Got a question about your young specialists, both kickers being, new to the program and young guys in a position that has a decent amount of pressure on them. So how have you thought that they performed and contributed?
Yeah, I'll talk about Blake first. Blake was in a battle with Luke Pollock in preseason and really going back to spring ball. Luke went down with a an injury that debilitated him for a while. And Blake, we was really to the point where we hadn't made a decision. But Blake, got the nod by, I don't want to say by default, but that's just the direction it went with. And he's performed very well. He's kicked the ball off very consistently, number of touchbacks. Directionally, he's putting it where he needs to. I know he's had a couple hiccups in there, but not too many, as many times as we've kicked off. And then from a place kicking perspective, really couldn't be more pleased. I know I think he's got one miss from a PAT perspective, and his field goal misses a couple snaps, and the 52-yarder the other day just missed. So, probably more than we imagined, and I really like Blake's demeanor. He's a competitive kid that believes in himself, and I think he's just going to continue to get better and better in that position. Bryce probably had his best and most consistent day this past Saturday. I know he has tremendous ability to get into the football, and for his first time punting, he's been pretty dang consistent. Maybe not as booming as he'd like to be, honestly, and he's his biggest critic. But as far as directionally putting the ball where he wants to, he hasn't really completely mishit a ball all year. I know he doesn't have a touchback, so he's done a good job that I think he'll continue to improve. And Tommy Sullivan, as a long snapper, while not perfect, has really given us a chance to say, okay, there's a guy that for 4 years, hopefully no one knows his name. He can just be a consistent guy that does his job, and he's honestly done a really good job hustling down on the punt team and being a part of that coverage as well.
And you guys have put up a lot of points and had a lot of sustained drives offensively. Is that challenging for a punter when maybe you don't come into the late third quarter or something?
I think that's fair. I'd rather it be that way. To say that, as a punter, you ever get in rhythm when your offense is in rhythm, I think that's fair. And I know we've had a few games where the wind has maybe been a little bit of a factor, but by and large, I think Bryce has really handled the duties well, and he's been in, he's had to kick out of his end zone a few times, and that hasn't fazed him. So, I think we're just the beginning stages of what Bryce can do, but I've really been pleased at this point.
And Tyrell, how would you kind of characterize his spirits when he was out, and also kind of what he did, in meetings and things like that?
Well, he's a spirited individual for sure, competitive. I think at the same time, as a skill guy, he really knows his body too, and so while it took a little bit longer for him to get right than we maybe hoped, I think he was always in tune. He'd really been practicing the 2 weeks previous and getting reps, and so he was able to kind of build back up. I think one thing we were definitely concerned about was just conditioning, because he really didn't. He missed some time in the summer, missed most of fall camp, so it was a part of just getting his conditioning levels up. But as far as him being locked in, he was there and helping out the younger guys, Simeon in particular, and getting himself ready to go, which I think he did and performed real well on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Tommy?
Blackfoot Communications is committed to supporting Bozeman businesses, from intelligent network solutions like SD-WAN to fast and reliable fiber-based services. Blackfoot delivers innovative ways for your business to succeed. Blackfoot Communications. Connect to more.
Yeah, just going into the week, coaches put in a great game plan. I was grateful to have an opportunity to get in there and get a couple reps. When I got out there, just to give them a different look than they weren't expecting, obviously. They had guys miss a line and got the snap off. Our tight ends, they blocked down great. We had a great pull, and, just everything worked out perfect, and I just happened to be the person that got to run the ball in that play. So, it was super exciting, great opportunity, and but it really, it was the guys up front and the game plan that really made me successful in that play. Made us successful in that play.
What is it like for you on the sideline and knowing that you could go in at any point? How do you keep yourself mentally and physically ready for that?
Yeah, and I think just a testament to how practices have been. Just every single day, it's that same situation where, you don't know when that package is in or when they're going to call on you. You just kind of have to be ready and be tuned in and be focused the entire time. 2 weeks ago, I remember I was going off to the punt team, and then all of a sudden they called my package, called the package that I was in. So I was jogging one way, and then I sprinted back and threw my glove up to the side and just hopped in. So it just staying in tune and being locked into what the whole team's doing, and just taking that shot that you got.
Your teammates were really celebrating that pretty hard when you got in the end zone. I mean, describe that feeling, just seeing all them there and then just crossing the end zone for the first time.
Oh, geez, yeah. It means a ton for my team and my coaches and fellow players to believe in me. I'm a younger guy. I was here last year, but didn't really have a season, didn't get to play. But I'm just very grateful for everyone on the team, to believe in me and once I crossed the line, for everyone to be happy for me. I think that's just kind of a testament to who this team is. Really just ride for the brand, and everyone's just one unit. So it doesn't really matter who's the person running through the end zone with the ball, but just a whole team effort. So it was really exciting, and I really did appreciate that.
How many messages from back home did you have on your phone when you got back?
Yeah, no, that was great. Everybody was super excited for me, and my family members and friends and everyone that I knew from back home, and everyone was reaching out and texting me and saying congrats and everything. So it was quite the evening. Everyone was pretty excited for me. I had a couple phone calls and texts and everything. So I was really grateful for all the support.
Have you talked to Troy, Matt, even the other quarterbacks much about being a running quarterback in ways that they've been successful in running the ball?
Yeah, our offensive coordinator and my quarterback coach, he's just kind of left it to, it's just like use your instincts, I suppose. It's tough to, really show you where you're supposed to go. It's just kind of, you got to hit it hard, I guess. I haven't really gotten any tips or pointers from any of those guys, but I obviously have their support, and they have my back, and I have theirs. So at the end of the day, that means a lot to me as well. So,
can you talk about your mentality when you're on kick teams, and does it differ from when you're taking snaps at quarterback?
Yeah, for sure. That's been a huge adjustment. Haven't played defense or done any special teams since middle school. So, in high school it was quarterback, and I went in for my senior year at safety for third and long. I had one tackle, and it was just kind of fell in my lap. But it's definitely been different. I jumped in against Wyoming for my first snap for college, and it was on special teams, and run down there to kick or block somebody and then go tackle someone on kickoff. It's complete different mentality. Just fly down there and know that you have 10 other guys that are helping you. So you take your shot, you get down there, you're the first one, and you know that if you miss, you got 10 other guys right behind you, and you want to be one of those 10 guys as well in different situations. So everyone just feeding off each other.
And how did that opportunity arise for you? Did they bring it to you? I mean, how did you end up being on all these kick teams?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, during fall camp, I just had a couple opportunities. A wide receiver, and the coaching staff just wanted to use my athleticism. Obviously, just a young guy sitting in the quarterback room in a traditional position. Like if I stayed in that traditional position, I'd probably be on the sideline or be up in the stands. But they gave me an opportunity to get down on the field, and that was originally what it was. All I did was special teams for a while there, and just progressing my role, I suppose, a little bit. But I think that's the core of this team is our special teams, and all the coaching staff says it is. Everyone grows from that baseline when they're younger. They have to earn their role at special teams and then progress from there. So I'm just taking that opportunity as I can.
Tommy, did you grow up a Bobcat fan?
Yeah. Butte, Montana, it's 50-50 split, I'd say, from UM and MSU, and I always followed the Bobcats. Love what was going on here, and they're just progressing. Looking at this facility around us right now, it's it's really something else, and you know, the school's great, and really grateful for this opportunity.
And Montanans, especially Butte natives, love you. Have a big following already being here. What does it mean to you to represent Butte in this program?
Yeah, I think Butte definitely supports their own, no matter where that's at. You could go across the country, and I'm sure that, you know, they'd be following you. They really do care about people that come from there, and I'm really grateful for all their support. And I mean, I'm the same way. I love seeing people from Butte succeed, and I'm just grateful that you know, they're following me right now.
Coulter, do you have anything for Tommy?
Yeah, hey Tommy, Coulter Lawrence here. I want to phrase this right. So, I've been working on a story for a while about guys from Montana trying to play quarterback, and it seems to me so often guys like you that are great quarterbacks, you're also great at other stuff, and so you might be finding your way onto the field in a variety of different ways. So, in your mind, though, what is the balance, and what is it going to take for yourself or other guys that come from Montana to play quarterback at the Montana schools?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, both Montana schools obviously have a very storied program. They're very successful, and it really just comes down to, you know, really understanding the offense, having their OC and head coaches, you know, trust and really knowing the ins and outs of the offense. You know, I guess I can't really say for sure what that would have to take, you know, to start or you know, play quarterback at a school like MSU or U of M. But you know, I think that's, you know, how you at least progress is, you know, you get that trust from knowing your role and showing that you know being a leader and you know, just growing from what opportunities you have.
It's just interesting, right? Because you can continue to work at quarterback, try to win the starting job and all that, like a traditional quarterback might, but oftentimes there's maybe other opportunities for you to get on the field more quickly. And I feel like a lot of the guys that are from Montana, they somehow find themselves playing other positions more early on because they have played both ways in high school and stuff. But so, I mean, how much do you think this growing up in Butte and maybe doing a lot of different things, not just playing quarterback, sort of helped your diversity as a player?
No, yeah, for sure. Going up or working through high school, you know, I always took a lot of pride in all of our running and all of our lifting and you know, trying to be a leader in that sense as well. So, you know, just having that diversification and using your athleticism, I think a lot of programs recruit quarterbacks just because traditionally, you know, they know the ins and outs of the offense and they're great leaders. And at the college level, that's really able to convert to a lot of different positions. So that's kind of where I'm finding myself right now is, you know, just, you know, taking the opportunities that I can get. But no, I definitely agree with you. I think that, you know, it's very difficult there's one quarterback out on the field normally throughout, you know, any game at any college. They don't really, you know, switch. If you're a two, you're signaling on the sidelines and you're just ready for your opportunity. But, you know, it's very difficult, and you know, obviously you just want to play football where you can, and that's where I'm finding myself right now. So I just try to take advantage of that opportunity.
Well, that's one for me. You look pretty comfortable with the ball in your hand, but you also look pretty comfortable when you're covering kicks and stuff. So to you, I mean, where do you feel the most comfortable right now when you're on the game field?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always just jumping in there where, you know, for single plays at a time. You know, I've really found a lot of joy in, you know, special teams. At the beginning of the season, it was a little bit daunting, especially starting over at Wyoming. I'd never played a college game and hadn't played special teams since middle school. But, you know, I'm slowly getting more and more comfortable with just being able to read defenders and then being able to block and just, you know, using my athleticism in that sense. It just kind of, you know, just whenever I'm out on the field, I feel comfortable. I don't think that one specific role has made me more or less comfortable than another.
All good?
Well, just one more about, you know, on those kickoff teams, especially those two hits that Daniel Hardy's had, among others. I mean, how have you reacted when you've seen those hits from your perspective?
No, I mean, it's been awesome. All of our guys have just been, you know, fitting our roles and you flying down there, I think that our kickoff team has a ton of energy right now. I think they have a lot of confidence, and every team that's tested us, we've proved them that they better fair catch that ball or kneel it in the end zone and hope that they can put their offense on the 25, because if they take it out, we've proven that we're gonna stick them down there behind in the 20 or within the 20-yard line. So Daniel, he's been he's a big, physical, fast guy, and he's super impressive. It's been something else when you're running down there, and we're all just kind of herding that returner over in that little corner with our kick and then all of our cover guys, and he takes a shot, and he's not afraid to put your horns into someone. So it's been something else to watch that guy. He's super impressive.
And then Choke staff spoke highly of you, and now the new staff does as well. What does it mean to be noticed like that?
Oh, it means the world. Obviously being trusted and having your coaching staff believe are in you. You couldn't really ask for much more. I mean, I don't really know what else to say about that. It just means the world to me.
And going up against Shahid this week, I mean, how much are you looking forward to that? How much kind of urgency do you guys have with that kind of returner?
Yeah, I mean, that guy's got a lot of juice, and we're excited to test ourselves again. I know he housed one against Utah, and he has every single year, or their kickoff team has every single year for a while. I think it'll definitely test us, and I think we're up for the task. So just getting in and watching some film on him, and just giving that great effort like we have, and trusting our coaching. That's what it's really going to come down to. So.
Okay, thanks, Tommy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks.
Yeah.